Greetings to all. Good morning and welcome to the fascinating program Yuvamanthan Model United Nations. Yuvamanthan is a platform that equips young people with skill-based capabilities of bridging the gap between theoretical knowledge and actual application. It recognizes the youth aspiration and potential through transformative experiential learning programs that cultivate knowledge through practical experience. With the help of this program, India's Vision 2047 will be strengthened, empowering young people to prosper, take a lead and drive group efforts to create a developed country. Yuvamanthan Model United Nations organization allows the youth to step into the shoes of global diplomats and representatives of different nations. Through cultural research and the real-life situations, Yuvamanthan Model of United Nations organization provides an invaluable opportunity to understand international relations and diplomacy. With the students' participation, we are pleased to host this program at our institution of higher learning, which exposes them to a global audience. On behalf of the staff, I warmly welcome everyone. To make the program lively, we have a presence of our institution's administrative officer, Shri Kiran Kumar K, Principal Shri T.S. Venkatesh Babu, jury members Shri Bojraj Sir, Miss Chavi from the 1 billion and 1 billion team, faculty members and students. On behalf of the institution, I welcome one and all to the program. Now, I request that the event's keynote speaker, Administrative Officer Shri Kiran Kumar Sir, to give the speech.
A very good morning to all dignitaries present on dais, faculty members, and dearest of all students. First and foremost, it is World Environment Day. It is a day for a lot of introspection. It is a day for investing on our future. Second, and equally important, is this event that is being organized by the institution, Yuvamanthan. As the word itself signifies, it is an opportunity for all of us to discuss, to debate on what issues are sustainable for posterity. What can we do about our future today, that tomorrow will be a happier place to live. On this occasion, it is our utmost duty and responsibility to take issues very seriously, be it environment, be it careers, be it sustainable discourses, to engage ourselves in meaningful activities. So this day is also important because we are talking about our future. We are students. Yuvamanthan is an opportunity for all of us to look at the most discerning, the most concerning aspect, how we can create sustainable businesses, sustainable practices, sustainable lifestyles, so that we and our next generation and the coming generations will have something to feel happy about, something to take them forward. So, on this occasion, I thank the principal and the team members for making this event possible, and also wish all the students who have registered yourself to be part of the council for discourse. I congratulate each one of you and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights for the youth growth in environment building. And thank you for inaugurating the program with your words. I request the dignitaries to occupy the seats of the dais. Let's start today's program by welcoming the UNO President to the meeting.
Sir.
So now we will commence today's session with the roll call. Delegate of India, Delegate of Brazil, Delegate of Germany, Delegate of Japan, Delegate of China, Delegate of Russia, Delegate of France, Delegate of UK, Delegate of Israel, Delegate of Saudi Arabia, Delegate of Australia, Delegate of South Africa, Delegate of Switzerland. Thank you, delegates. Delegates, at any motion on the floor. Ex-delegate from India, you have recognized. At what point you want to raise?
Delegate from India would like to pass motion upon the lifestyle for an environment.
Delegates, is there any objection to this motion? Ex-delegate from China.
Honorable Delegate and President, esteemed guests, a very pleasant good morning. As a proud delegate of China, I object the motion passed by India.
as I feel India is prioritizing its own interest over global cooperation and its fairness. I could claim that the motion is selfish because it potentially benefits India's economic and strategic interests without adequately considering other developing nation countries, including China. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from China. Delegate from India, would you like to defend to this objection?
Definitely, Honorable President. You have to dream big before your dream come true. You have to dream big before your dream come true. Let us all together dream for a green planet. So, very good morning to the ladies and gentlemen. Today, we dwell into the G20 topic, a lifestyle for an environment, which is proposed by National Climatical Change Conference in 2020. I stand before you representing a vibrant and a diverse country, India. India is a land where the tradition is seamlessly blended with the nature. We always believe in the harmony with the nature. With a huge population in India, India has a vital role in solving the environmental consequences. From our deep-rooted philosophy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one. The world is one family and we are serious about using the clean energy and taking care of the planet. So join me as we discuss the topic. 5 decades passed. In the old days, world's environment a tale to be told. Forests dense, rivers clear, wildlife roams without a fear. Mountain tall with the snowy peaks, nature speaks with the whispered creeks. A tapestry of earth's owns a art, and India's nature is a beating heart. In 2024, the story is sad, world's environment has gone bad. Pollution fills the city air, smokes and toxins everywhere. Wildlife home are lost, nature pays a heavy cost. Building rises, trees cut down, greenery lost to grey and brown. In 2024, it is clear that the world's environment sheds a tear. What does it mean? It means that Earth is our home. It is 4.8 billion years old and the only home we are having. We are the one among 8.7 million species. Over the century, we have changed several things. We have innovated the technological, we have the innovated adverse science, and also we have led a very comfortable life. But all of this has come at a cost. Our actions are harming the planet. There are the changes in the climate, destroying the ecosystem, killing the living beings. Wildlife species has declined by 68% and we have used the every resources available and left it either polluted or extinct. Microplastics are found in the oceans to the highest peak, where the fact says the plastic can cover the earth 400 times. It is found that 2050 that there is a found of plastic in the ocean rather than a fish. Every choice that we take, every actions we make have an impact on the environment. Now it is a crucial time at the history of the planet. Now we have to make the right decision. The major issues that I would like to highlight in the sense that is the climatical changes which is faced by every nation and the proper waste management, water and the sanitizations. 35 million lakh people are lack of safe drinking water. 678 people lack the access of safe toilets. Due to the extreme water stress and contaminated surface water and the lack of access to the piped water supply. These are the reasons for the lack of accessing the safe drinking water. And the climatical change, which plays a huge role and has a very adverse effect on all the nation, that climatical change refers to the shift in the temperature, changing in the weather patterns and the production of heat waves. The consequences faced by the climatical changes are melting the polar ice and the glacier, which leads to the coastal flooding, and ocean acidification due to the increase in the carbon dioxide in the ocean. It leads to the extinction of marine species. Impact on biodiversity ecosystem where the species are migrating or extinct. The reason behind this action, burning of the fossil fuels which releases a large amount of GHG gases, deforestation where there are no trees to absorb the carbon dioxide, and industrial process and the commercialization, and the enormous of producing methane in agricultural process. Government of India have taken a measures like National Action Plan on Climate, which outlines the strategies related to utilizing the resources as windmill, thermal, solar machine, etc. in an advanced manner. And we have to use 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse and the recycle has to be encouraged. Afforestation and the reforestation and electrical mobility and etc. certain measures has adopted by the government. Apart from this, home is a combination of people. People is a combination of society in the world. The home majority monitored by a woman. We believe that women plays a pivotal role in maintaining the sustainable environment. How? By reducing the energy consumptions, by monitoring the food wastages, by practicing the sustainable cooking, by using the eco-friendly products, by separating the dry and wet waste. Why only the women? Since the home which is monitored only by the women. The majority is monitored by the women. Hence, women plays a vital role. Approximately, we have 302.4 million homes are present in India. All over the world, the quantity increases enormously. If all the women who monitor their house with their environmental conscious, it is possible to control the environment from getting polluted for 20%. We have to make an investment on research and development to bring the alternatives for the harmful chemical substances, especially plastics. The alternative should be affordable. Strong foundation to the upcoming children by the parents and the teachers inculcating the environmental conscious. Youth contribution in spreading the awareness about the environmental drive is mandatory, and participating in the campaigns and drives to the clean the places. These are the measures which helps us to maintain the environmental sustainability. Not only women, not only the children, each and every individuals are liable to safeguard the planets. It is the little things that the citizens do will make the differences. My little things is to plant trees. My little things is to carry the cotton bags whenever go out. My little things is to switch off the appliances when it is not in use. My little things is to close the water tap properly whenever I use it. My little things is to use the stairs instead of using elevators. My little things is to use the public transport, and my little things is to feed the street animals with the leftover food, and my little things is to defrost the fridge and the freezer regularly. These are the points which might be the small habits, but when you inculcate it, makes a huge positive differences. Henceforth, as being the citizens of the concerned nation, it is mandatory to all the individual people to take an initiative for the sustainable environment. Ladies and gentlemen, 3,15,000 people lost their life in the year due to the heat wave. Due to the GHG gases, 1.5 degrees Celsius may rise in the temperature, where 18% species faces a high risk on surviving on the planet. Ozone layer got depleted 28.4 million square. 89.7% of the air had gone bad around the world. There are 262 million people got affected by the asthma and allergies due to the impurity of air. And 70 lakh people deaths happened due to the vector-borne diseases. Global report indicates the loss of 10 to 40% in the crop productions due to the climatical changes. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this point stresses the importance and the seriousness of the issues. This is a great platform to discuss the issues related to the lifestyle for an environment and opt the right decisions for the making. Where it leads to the change in the demand, change in the supply, change in the policy, where it enables to join our hands for the pro-people planet. I hope China recognizes the seriousness and the importance of the issue. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from India. All those in the favor of the motion, please raise your placards now. Okay, the motion clearly passes. Thank you, delegates. Delegates from which country is going to put the proposal in the meeting? As delegate from South Africa, you have floor now.
My dear brothers and sisters. As a representative of South Africa, today I stand before you to address a critical issue that threatens our planet, that is deforestation. This is not merely an environmental concern or a concern associated with our nation, but a global crisis with far-reaching consequences. Every year, millions of hectares of forest lost due to deforestation, driven by agriculture, logging, and urbanization. These forests are not just trees, they are the lungs of Earth, absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen, crucially for sustainable life. When they disappear, we lose an individual ally in the fight against climate change. Deforestation also devastates biodiversity. Forests are home to 80% of terrestrial species. Their destructions lead to habitat loss, pushing countless species towards extinction and disrupting ecosystems that have evolved over millennia. Moreover, deforestation affects human communities, especially indigenous peoples who depend on forests for their livelihood. It disrupts water cycle, leading to soil erosion, reducing agricultural productivity, and increased risk of natural disasters like flood and droughts. This global problem required urgent and collective action. We must advocate sustainable land use, support reforestation projects and promote policies that protect existing forests. Each of us can contribute by making conscious choices, opting for products that do not contribute to deforestation and supporting organizations dedicated to environmental conservation. As a course of life movement, the time to act is now. Let us join hands to protect our forests, for they are the vital to the health of our planet and well-being of future generations. Today, we can turn the tide against the deforestation and ensure a sustainable future for all. Hope we can discuss on this topic and find some solutions in this council.
Thank you, delegate from South Africa. Delegate from UK.
In the land where the misty moors meet the sea. In the land where the misty moors meet the sea, we stand as a guardians, bold and free. From bustling cities to tranquil jails, in the heart of Britain, our story is begin. A warm good morning to our Honorable President, delegates and ladies and gentlemen. I am the representative of UK. UK is a land made of the historical countries of England, Wales, Scotland and as well as North Ireland. It is also known as a home of both modern parliamentary democracy and industrial revolutions. I am presenting information on England's environment and people's exposure to environment pollutions, flooding and climate change in relationship with the human. In the UK, land is distributed as 30% of forest, 71% of agriculture land and 8% of urban area and 2% as a water bodies. Let me address the issue related to the deforestation, which is impacting not only to the UK environment, it is also impacting whole over the world in a large quantity, which leads to large number of deforestation. UK lost 1,05,000 of hectares of tree, in which it is equalated to 6.9 reductions in tree areas. UK deforestations are global environment concern. Where this happened in large quantity in 2 seasons, peaks in the springs and summer. Driven by agriculture, urbanization, infrastructure development, industrializations, and commercial forestry. Challenges include loss of natural habits, ecosystem, and impact on climate reliance. Require a multifaceted approach balancing economic development with environmental conservation, emphasizing the importance of sustainable land use practices and forest management strategies. Deforestation in the UK can be caused by various factors, including agriculture, where agriculture forests are cleared from farmland during expansion period like Middle period and the agriculture revolutions. Urbanizations and infrastructure development is our expanded forests were cleared for towns, cities, roads, railways and other infrastructure projects. Industrialization increased demand for wood led to significant deforestation in region with heavy industrial activity. Commercial forest replacing after commercial forestry activity can result in loss of biodiversity and natural habits. Natural events like storm, wildfire and disasters contributes to deforestation through less significant in the UK. Climate change increased frequently and sabotage storms, pests and diseases extracted pressures on forests. Efforts include reforestation, sustainable forestry practices and conservation initiatives to mitigate its impact. UK deforestation actions. UK government takes some measures related to the deforestation, recognizing the impact of deforestation on biodiversity, climate change and sustainable development. Implementing domestic legislations and international partnership to tackle the deforestation. Promote sustainable land management, supports reforestation and implement supply chain regulations. Actively participating in the international initiatives like the Boon Challenges and UN Decades on ecosystem restorations. Prioritize forest conservation and sustainable land use to mitigate deforestation impact, preserve the biodiversity and contribute to the climate change environment. Here is some statistical data related to the climate change of the UK. First, air quality, which is generally improving from 75% to 78%, where 3% of air quality is increased in UK. Water quality, relatively good overall, from 85% to 87%, where 2% is increased. Biodiversity, diversity ecosystem is improving from 58% to 60%, where 2% is increasing move. Water management, by recycling the rate of improving water from 50% to 55%, 5% is increasing in water management system. Greenhouse gas emissions, committed to the reductions of efforts of the carbon footprints from 95% to 100%, where 5% is a gradual increasing in the greenhouse gases emissions, where the UK is getting success in controlling the greenhouse gas emissions in its environment. Temperature change, reducing average temperature from 1.2 degrees Celsius to 1.5 degrees Celsius, where 0.3 degrees Celsius highly increasing in the temperature is reducing. Sea level rises by reducing from 3.5% to 3.2%, overall 0.3 mm per year sea level increases is reduced. Extreme weather event, more frequently and incentive event in conditions, where these are increasing in the UK is getting successful control over its the nature. This is the conditions of a climate change in our nations with the deforestation. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from UK. Delegate from Brazil, you are recognized.
Pleasant morning to President and Honorable Delegate. Today I am here as a delegate of Brazil, presenting about lifestyle for environment. The Amazon spans more than 670 million hectares, making it the largest rainforest in the world. 20% of the Amazon biome has been lost already, and it is estimated that 27% will be without trees by 2030 if the current deforestation continues. Our country is a key player in deforestation and was responsible for 75% deforestation in Amazon from 2001 to 2012. The main cause of deforestation is clearing of land and agriculture and livestock. An important route taken by cattle ranchers and their cattle is the Trans-Amazonian Highway. Deforestation has been a significant source of pollution, biodiversity loss, and greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. But deforestation has been our country's foremost cause of environmental and ecological deforestation. By 2018, these activities, among others, had resulted in the deforestation of 17% of the Amazon.
Thank you, delegate from Brazil. Delegates, is there any solutions for these issues? Yes, delegate from Japan, you are recognized.
Honorable President, ladies and gentlemen, as a proud representative of Japan, I would like to propose certain sustainable solutions for the deforestation faced by our native countries, that is, land use zones. Particular zones should be provided such as house zones, industrial zones, green and natural zones, including the historical zones. Green roofs and vertical gardens can be incorporated into the buildings to provide green space, and I would also suggest the best practice of country, that is, ground area should be left empty for the cultivations of the small plants. And awareness should be provided among the young and the children for the afforestations and reforestations. Along with that, only uncultivable land and barren land should be provided for the industrial practices, and paper industry installation should be limited. By doing this all, it not only protect the forest and trees of the country, but also the tribal peoples and endangered species. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Japan. Let's delegate from India.
Dear delegates, each and every nation is facing a problem of deforestation. So, these deforestations can be controlled by geographical information system, which means gathering the statistical geographical data of the particular nations and involving that data for the providing plans and the strategies for the conservation of forest by using the technology of remote sensing and satellite monitoring. Using this technology, it is possible to monitor the forestry area where we can plant the trees, where we can encourage the environment and also conserve the forest from and make a positive impact that putting an end card from the cutting of trees, and we can able to monitor the forest by adopting geographical information system with the help of technology which is called as remote sensing and satellite monitoring. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from India. Delegates, is there any other discussions relating to the motion? Yes, delegate from Japan, you are recognized.
Honorable President, I would like to address this esteemed assembly with regarding to the critical problem that is caused by pollution, which adversely affects the lifestyle for environment at global level. As an island country, we face challenges in the waste management because of limited landfill space and inability to create a long-term storage solutions. And because of air pollution, till today more than 42,000 people were dead by facing the cardiovascular and respiratory problem. And even EV car batteries contain metals such as cobalt, nickel and manganese, which are toxic in nature and contaminate the groundwaters and land if they are disposed in the lands. And two types of batteries were used in EV cars. One is lead acidic battery and another is lithium ion batteries, where lead acidic batteries can be recycled easily, whereas lithium ion batteries cannot be recycled very easily. Only 5% of the lithium ion batteries can be recycled in 100%, which are designed very critical to recycle the lithium ion batteries. And a report is estimated that within 2021 and 2030, more than 12.85 billion tons of EV car batteries are going to shut down, which can affect our lifestyle for environment very seriously. Before that, we should take certain solutions. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Japan. Delegate from Switzerland. You have floor now.
Honorable President, distinguished delegates, as the representative of Switzerland, we are facing certain issues regarding pollution. In that, high density of cars and a significant number of freight trucks that pass through the country due to its central location in Europe. These result in considerable emission from vehicles contributing to air pollution. Industrial activities produce pollutants. Manufacturing, chemical production and other industries emits various pollutants, including greenhouse gases and particulate matter. Agriculture practices in our country, more than 88.2% of farmers were using fertilizers and pesticides along with livestock farming leads to the release of nitrogen and phosphorus into water bodies, causing eutrophication and other environmental issues. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Switzerland. Now, the delegate from China.
Ladies and gentlemen, so air pollution is a major problem which is spoiling a better lifestyle of environment. China's pollution is significantly influenced by its neighboring countries with specific impacts. Transboundary waste from Indonesia forest fires contribute significantly to air quality degradation. In southern China, with emission reaching 1.62 billion metric tons of CO2. Industrial emissions from Mongolia and Russia, particularly during winter season, contributed elevated PM 2.5 levels in northern China, indicating that up to 50% of Beijing's PM 2.5 during severe pollution originates from outside city, including Mongolia. Additionally, pollutants from South Korea and Japan exacerbate air quality issues in northeastern China, with up to 30% of PM 2.5 attributed to these sources. Furthermore, the exposure of fine particles in polluted air leads to severe health issues causing millions of deaths annually. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from China. Delegates, would you like to give any precautions to this issue? As delegate from Brazil, you are recognized.
We have the following certain solution in our country and it would be adopted by others too. To reduce the emissions, we can develop ethanol fuel from sugarcane, the development of hydro, wind, solar and thermal power plants, the use of charcoal from planted forests in the iron and steel industry. In the same way, we can reduce pollution by creating the Just Energy Transition Program, which guarantees contracting with the coal power plants in the region of Santa Catarina for power generation up to 2040. Nowadays, we have effectively reduced its emissions, paving the way to have 84% of its electricity grid come from renewable energy sources such as biomass, wind, solar and hydroelectric power, and it will keep working towards meeting the goals for the climate agenda. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Brazil. Delegate from France, you have floor now.
Honorable President, distinguished guests, and esteemed delegates. It's a great honor to address this assembly today as the delegate of France. And I am privileged to represent my country at this pivotal summit focused on lifestyle for environment. France has long been committed to environmental sustainability and the global fight against climate change. Our dedication is reflected in our policies and action aimed at promoting a sustainable way of life. We believe that individual and collective choices play a crucial role in protecting our planet for the future generations. Today, we come together to discuss, share, and innovate on practices that can transform our lifestyles towards greater harmony with nature. I look forward to engaging in productive discussions and collaborative efforts to advance our common goal of a sustainable future. Coming now, analyzing the issues conveyed by the different countries, the precautionary measures previously instituted by every country have been commendable. Following a recent meeting with our environmental experts, we have devised a series of initiatives aimed at further improving our environmental stewardship. Moreover, we intend to propose these solutions global implementation, advocating their adoption by all the nations. The first solution, growing trees. Every country pledges to plant more trees, but we often don't know which trees to plant for specific environmental problems. Keeping in mind that when there is a problem arising to the nature itself can often provide the solution. So, we researched and found trees that are great at solving the issues like air pollution, increasing the water quantity, controlling drought, ozone depletion, as well as the mainly climate change. First tree, silver maple tree. For those who don't know about the silver maple tree, it is the fastest growing tree which absorbs 25,000 pounds of carbon dioxide and it also works against the flooding. Next, oak tree. This tree helps to prevent from high sun rays and also help to stabilize the soil. Next, mahogany tree. This tree helps to reduce the release of greenhouse gases as well. Next, the important tree which I am talking about is cedar tree. After an extensive research over 4 years by Dr. Jesse Nippert on cedar, it highlights this tree as the prime choice for the urban areas due to its remarkable ability to control air pollution. It absorbs pollutants like nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, and ozone gases through its leaves and needles by storing them in its biomass. This carbon storage effectively mitigates the greenhouse effect and reduces major air pollutants. Similar to the collective agreement among nations under the UN to adopt India's initiative for widespread solar energy integration in individual households, we propose our decision today. This initiative, if embraced globally, entails every individual planting at least one of the trees listed above at their residence, will surely lead to promising sustainable contributions to sustainable development for sure.
Let's delegate from USA.
Honorable President, distinguished delegates, as we gather this privileged occasion for the lifestyle for environment, it is an both an honor and responsibility to address this esteemed assembly on the behalf of United States of America. Yes, as delegate of France said, we could grow trees, but to grow those trees in all the countries, not possible because of climate and soil differs from one country to another country. We would like to bring to their notice that as America consists of 36% of forest in which 1/3 of forest is forested from the government of America. So we would like to suggest all the countries that they could grow the plants and trees as their climate and soil can grow them. Thank you.
Delegate from France, would you like to defend to this objection?
Yes, Honorable President. I totally agree with what the delegate from USA said. We should check how good the soil is in different countries, especially in unused areas. Hence, these places could be perfect for planting the trees that help in specific environmental issues. By finding out which trees grow best in different types of soil, we can make sure we plant the right trees in the right spots to help the environment. I hope the delegate got the answer.
Thank you, delegate from France.
I have another solution as well.
Yes, you can proceed.
Thank you. The second solution. We humans cut one tree for our usage. Simultaneously, for every tree we cut down, planting 2 more trees nearby can help to maintain a healthy and sustainable environment by restoring and preserving nature. This solution can also be implemented by those industries that rely on environmental resources like trees. Falling to the last solution, educating children. Mainly we need to start teaching the children about the environment and importance of preserving it. There is a saying that if children don't grow knowing about the nature, they won't appreciate it. If they won't appreciate it,
they won't understand it. And if they don't understand it, they won't protect it. And if they don't protect it, then who will, right? Like now we say, youths will be the torchbearers of the country. In the same way, today's children will surely be the torchbearers of environment as well as the sustainable world tomorrow. That happens more effectively when the children get some sort of access to nature, exploring it, getting enthusiastic to know about it. Dear ladies and gentlemen, hereby France respectfully proposes at this UNO summit that all the window power nations alongside other developing countries join hands in a unified effort to address global challenges. Let us collaborate on initiatives aimed at fostering sustainable development, promoting peace and combating climate change for the betterment of humanity and the planet. I request all, let's go for a change for our mother nature and for our healthy nation. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you all.
Thank you, delegate from France. Now, the delegate from India, you have floor now.
A wonderful proposal which is proposed by France, it is appreciable. Apart from this, in order to control the air pollution, especially, the air pollution increases due to the fossil fuels burning. It is the majority issues which is faced in every country. For this alternative, we can use hyperloops where the technological transportations which is yet to adopt in India, it would be a very good solution for this problem. Hyperloops transportation technology can be used for this. Apart from this, using carbon capture, utilize and storage, CCUS, which means storing the carbon dioxide and reusing the carbon dioxide. It is a technology which is newly introduced. This is also alternative options can be adopted for the nations which is facing an air pollution. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from India. Delegates, is there any other further discussions? Is delegate from Russia?
Honorable President and delegates, I stand before you today as a representative of Russia to address the critical issue of rising temperature. 50% of Russia is covered by ice and our countries typically experience cold temperatures. However, the rising global temperature has caused numerous problems for Russia as well as Russia as well as other countries in the northern hemisphere. The Arctic ice is melting, leading to disturbed ecosystem and climates, rising sea levels and severe threatening nearby countries. Additionally, the frequent heat waves have spread diseases, posing significant health risks. The increase in global temperature is primarily caused by greenhouse gases and burning of fossil fuels. The leading emitters of greenhouse gases are USA and China. These nations must develop and implement solutions to reduce global temperature increase. Otherwise, we will face a global disaster.
Thank you, delegate. Now, the delegate from Switzerland.
Honorable President, climate change is a very critical issue we are facing in our country. Our glaciers, primarily located in the Alps, are crucial natural landmarks and vital water reservoirs. It covers about 1,000 square cubic kilometers, making up nearly 3% of our country's area. The rapid warming accelerates the melting of glaciers and snow, altering our country's landscape and hydrology. Volume loss. Our country glaciers have lost more than half of their volume since the 1930 to 2016, and our glaciers have lost approximately 500 billion cubic meters of ice from the year 1850 to 2016. Glaciers act as a natural reservoirs, releasing water gradually. Its reduction affects water availability for hydroelectric power, irrigation and drinking water. In 2019 alone itself, Swiss glaciers lost 2% of their total volume, a record year for ice loss due to exceptionally warm temperature. The retreat of glaciers destabilizes mountain slopes, increasing the risk of landslides, rockfalls, and glacial lake outburst floods. We are having only one river for our nation, and many scientists alarmed about this issue. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Switzerland. Now, the delegate from Japan. You have Ilona.
Honorable President, now I would like to pass the motion regarding the problem caused by carbon emission, which leads to the rise in carbon emissions at global level and affects the rest of our environment. As an island country with limited area, we heavily relies on the incinerations of the waste. Nearly 78% of the waste were burnt in an open area. In a sense, 2 by 3rd of the waste of the country were burnt in an open area, which releases the greenhouse gases and carbon emissions in the environment. And up to 60% of the CO2 carbon emissions were released by EV car batteries, which were manufactured from our native country, USA. Along with this, after the Fukushima disaster, our country heavily relies on the carbon and fuel, coal, natural gases, which also releases the carbon emissions at the environment. And we also have ancestral practices such as kintsugi, which means repairing of the broken items with the gold, which transfers the ordinary pot into the very valuable pot, which can able to recycle of the products very easily. Along with this, we also have tenugai, which means using of the handkerchief instead of disposable napkins. And shukatsu is a practice where the neighbor peoples join together to clean the litters from the rivers, lakes, and the roads. From this, I would like to say that our country is still reducing the carbon emission, but our native countries are still disposing the waste and burning, which affects the lifestyle for environment at global level. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Japan. Is any delegates would like to defend to this? Is delegate from USA?
We are aware that carbon emissions cause significant problems to entire globe. Reducing carbon emissions involves a multifaceted approach across various sectors. Here are some solutions as we follow. Renewable energy, solar power. Renewable energies like solar power, expanding solar energy installations can significantly cut down on emissions. Wind power, investing in wind farms both onshore and offshore. Hydropower, utilizing rivers and water bodies to generate electricity. Energy efficiency, building designs, incorporate energy efficient designs and materials in new buildings. Appliances, using energy efficient appliances and lighting. Transportation, electrical vehicles, promoting the use of EVs and expanding charging infrastructure. Public transportation, improving and increasing the use of public transport. Carbon capture and storage, energy efficiencies, agricultural practices. Each of these solutions requires collaborations between government, businesses, and individuals to effectively mitigate carbon emissions and combat climate change. I consider the allegation made by the delegate of Japan. I would also like to intimate the delegate of Japan that we also took certain precautions to control e-waste, following national and state laws, EPA programs, partnership with manufacturers and recyclers, certified recycling facilities, local collection programs, investment in recycling technology, public education campaigns. Thus, I have satisfied through my answer for the allegation made by the delegate of Japan as well as the delegate of Russia. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate, is there any further solutions you can provide? Is delegate from Germany?
Honorable President and the Dean Delegate, I am the proud representative of Germany. As we stand as the precipice of carbon emission crisis globally, it is imperative that we act decisively and collectively to mitigate the carbon emissions. Germany, recognizing the responsibility as a global leader, has taken bold steps towards a sustainable future for the life mission. Firstly, the Germany has invested heavily in renewable resources such as wind energy, solar energy, hydroelectric power, turbine, carbon capture. By transitioning away from
fossil fuel will not only reduce the carbon emission, but also promote the energy independence and security. Around 40% of the energy has been saved from using renewable sources of energy. According to the statistical data from the UBA, in 1990, the carbon emission was around 1,252 million tons per year, and it has reduced to 751 million tons per year in the year 2020. Overall, it has reduced 40% of carbon emission. By 2030, it has the agenda to reduce the carbon emissions around 562 tons. The target is around 50%. By 2050, the carbon emissions should be neutralized. Secondly, we must prioritize energy efficiency and conservation. This includes implementing the stricter building codes, promoting energy efficiency transportation options, and incentivizing businesses to adopt sustainable practices. By reducing energy waste, we can simultaneously lower the carbon emissions and also save the money. Thirdly, by fostering the innovation and technological advancement is essential for achieving long-term sustainability. Germany has a proud history of scientific excellence, and we must harness this expertise to develop cutting-edge solutions such as carbon capture and storage, advanced battery technologies, and sustainable agriculture practices. And also by the energy wind transition, the Germany has reduced overall the carbon emission. And also by using the grid technology, overall the heat produced in an economy can also be reduced by using the renewable sources of energy. By taking these steps, embracing the culture of sustainability for the mission life, together let us all build a greener, cleaner future for generations to come. Thank you. Thank you, delegate from Germany. Now, the delegate from UK.
I concur with the issues which is raised by my dear delegates, and I appreciate the proposals given by the Germany. As per the past decades, only 3.6% of glacier depletions was there in our UK. But nowadays, the UK is not a significant concern with the glacier depletions. UK climate change measures are like carbon reduction targets aims to be reached net zero emissions by 2050 by renewable energies and investing in low carbon technologies. Climate adoption plans, national adaptations program developed to manage risk, build reliances and adapt infrastructures and communities. Flood defense, invest in sea walls, flood barriers and natural food management schemes. Coastal management, beach nutritionment, dune restorations and manage retreat to protect coastal habits and infrastructure. Climate reliances, integrations of climate risk assessment into decision making process. Glacier monitoring, support international efforts to monitor and reach glacier depletion. International climate actions, leading role in international climate, negotiate the financial assistance to develop countries from climate adaptations and mitigations of projects. Investing in renewable energies. The UK is into the investment energy sectors from fossil fuels to renewable sources like wind, solar and hydropowers. Implementing energy efficiency program. The government has implemented program to reduce energy consumptions and lower greenhouse gases. Developing climate reliance planning. The government has developed strategy to address the impact of temperature rising, including heat waves, plan and green infrastructure development. Supporting glacier research and monitoring. The UK supports scientific research and international monitoring efforts to study glacier depletion and its implementations. Active role in international climate diplomacy. The UK supports global efforts to tackle climate change, including providing financial and technical assistance to developed countries. Some of the unique ideas which aid to the UK is going to implement. Small box gift is nothing but creating a small square on the top of the houses and collecting the rainwater which can be recycled for the planting, purifying the water and for the water consumption. Next, enforcing the rules for each householder to license only for the vehicles to make the license being name of the youth who is between the age of 20 to 40. Limit parking space, and enforcing the rules, the public should use public transportations for the travels designations which can yield the income to the government. A water consumption meter should be used by the each and every individual household to measure what and how much of the ratio water is going to be used by the each individuals, and charging tax on the limited consumptions of water if the water consumption is beyond the limit. Planting the water purifying plant or a tree near the river, lakes, seas which can purify the water naturally. Planting practical knowledge about the environment in schools and colleges, like we experiment the science practicals. Enforcing the rules in country to planting a tree and plant behind the houses which can highly in production of oxygen and reducing the pollutions. Backside of the houses and recycle the water used for the house for watering and purifying. I think I satisfied the delegates who raised this issue with my answers which the plan going to be in a action. In Britain field and urban soil. In Britain field and urban soil, let's heed nature urgent call. With every steps and every choice, let's safeguard the earth with a united voice. If we change, everything going to be changed. By outstretching our hand towards the change, let's start the change. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from UK. Delegates, is there any further discussions? As delegate from Saudi Arabia.
Respected President and ladies and gentlemen, I am a delegate of Saudi Arabia. Today I want to talk about a critical issue facing our nation, water scarcity in our nation. As we all know, water is essential for life. It is a fundamental resource for drinking, agriculture and industry. However, in our country we face a significant challenges due to our natural environment. Our country is predominantly desert, receiving a very little rainfall each year. This arid climate means that we have a limited natural freshwater resource. We have depend heavily on groundwater and these are not being a replacement at sustainable rate. Overuse of these water resource has led a rapid decline in their levels. Additionally, the high population growth and increasing demand for water in urban areas and further curtail our water supply. To address this issue, our country has invested heavily in desalination technology which converted seawater into drinkable water. We are now the largest producer of desalination water in the world. While this has provided precious source of water, desalination in energy intensive and expensive. The government has also implemented a various conservation measures and awareness campaigning to encourage responsible water usage. Efforts are being made to improve water management, reduce waste and promote the use of treated wastewater for agriculture and industrial purpose. However, solving the water scarcity issue requires more than just government action. It requires the collective efforts of all citizens. We must all be conscious of our water consumption and take steps to conserve this precious resource. Simple actions such as fixing leaks, using water efficiency appliances, and reducing water waste in our daily life activities can make significant difference. And countries that import and waste water resources, the top water importing country like Germany imports a 69% of water from other countries. And countries facing the water most like United States waste a lot of water in agriculture and to a lakes in old pipes. About 30 to 50% of water is wasted. India wasted a lot of water in farming due inefficient irrigation. Around 40% of urban water is lost due to poor infrastructure. China wasted water in factories and farms
About 30 to 20% of water is wasted due to the inefficiency and pollution. So I wish that nations wasting more water resource can reduce it and share it with nations like ours to overcome the shortage of water. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from Saudi Arabia. Next delegate from Germany.
I would like to allocate to the speech given by the delegate of Saudi Arabia. As we are here to address the critical issue of water scarcity in Germany. The geographical boundary of Germany is segregated as 95% of land and 5% of water bodies. The pure water available in Germany is around 1.24%, where 69.4% of water is imported from various countries like France, Italy. The situation in Germany is multifaceted because the climatical changes intensifies the drought, drinking water reserves, agricultural industries and households which lead to the water scarcity. These impacts are the result of an observed shift which leads to the precipitation from summer to the winter as higher evaporation owing to the increased temperature. As per the statistical data by TWA, the Germany has imported around $253 million of water in the world. Germany imports water primarily from France for $155 million, from Italy $47.5 million, Turkey $14.6 million, Austria $9.88 million, and Denmark from $5.81. It is one of the third rank among the 232 nations for largest importing of waters from various countries, in which it describes the water scarcity of the Germany. The Germany is one of the regions with highest water loss worldwide. Since the past decade, it has lost around 2.5 cubic kilometers of water per year. The per capita water is decreased from 173 in 2007 to 121 in 2022. Moreover, international aid and development assistance can support the Germany's efforts to enhance its water infrastructure and resilience to the water scarcity. By seeking assistance from international donors, Germany can access funding and technical expertise to implement the sustainable water management projects. In conclusion, addressing water scarcity in Germany requires a concerted effort, including the collaboration with other nation partnerships, diplomatic dialogue. We can work together to ensure a sustainable development for the large vision and equitable water future for all. I hope the delegates from Saudi Arabia got to know the serious issue of water scarcity in Germany. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate, would you like to provide any precautions for this issue? Let's delegate from Israel.
Thank you, Honorable President. Esteemed delegates, today I share before you to shed light on one of the most pressing global challenges of our time, water scarcity. As representatives of the nations grappling with this issue, I believe it's crucial to learn from the successes of others. In that spirit, I present you the remarkable achievements of Israel in water management, a shining example that many countries aspire to emulate. Firstly, let's discuss water recycling and reuse. Israel's commitment to treating nearly 90% of its wastewater for agricultural purposes is nothing short and exemplary. This practice not only conserves precious freshwater sources but also demonstrates a proactive approach towards sustainability. Furthermore, Israel's investment in desalination technology has revolutionized its water landscape, with approximately 70% of its domestic water consumption sourced from the desalination plants. Israel showcases the potential of turning seawater into vital resource. The statistics speaks for themselves. The Sorek desalination plant alone produces an astonishing 150 million cubic meters of potable water annually. Another area where Israel excels in agricultural water management, particularly through drip irrigation. This innovative technique delivers water directly to the roots of plants, significantly reducing water waste. By implementing drip irrigation, Israel has not only transformed its agriculture sector but has also set a precedent for efficient water usage. Imagine the impact of if other nations were to adopt similar practices. Moreover, Israel's tiered pricing systems initiates water conservation by charging high prices of excessive usage, a strategy that has proven effective in promoting responsible water consumption. Over the years, Israel has successfully decreased its domestic water consumption despite population growth, a testament to power the strategic water pricing. Lastly, Israel's commitment to innovation and research in water sector is truly commendable. By fostering collaborations between the government, academia, and private sector, Israel has become the global hub for water technology development. Its thriving water technology sector, exports reaching billions of dollars annually, serves as inspiration for the nations worldwide. I respect the motion passed by the India lifestyle of environment and a heartfelt gratitude to the nations who is ready to accept the expertise of Israel in water management for the great collaborations. In conclusion, Israel's journey towards the water sustainability offers valuable lessons for all of us gathered here today. By embracing recycling, desalination, efficient irrigation, and innovative solutions, we can overcome the challenges of the water scarcity and build more sustainable future for the generations to come. Let us heed the example set up by Israel and work together towards the world where access to clean and abundant water is reality for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from Israel. Delegates, is there any other further discussions? As delegate from Australia, you are recognized.
And delegators. I am the delegator of the Australia Lifestyle Environment. Australia is facing the major issues of the ocean dumping. Several countries have been identified as the sources of the marine pollution. In the India and Pacific Ocean, include but not limited to the China, Indonesia, and India and small nations. These countries contribute to the marine pollution through various means, including improper waste disposals, industries runoff, integrate waste management infrastructure. Additionally, these issues request international collaborations and efforts to improve the waste management specific globally. One significant issue facing the Australia in the Pacific Ocean in marine pollution. This including the plastic debris, oil space and other forms of the contaminations which can harm marine ecosystem and damage wildlife and affect industries such as fishing and tourism. Additionally, Australia facing the challenges related to the illegal fishing and marine securities and concerns and environmental threats such as climate changes and coral and those issues related to the enforcement and international cooperation to address the effectively. I hope they have their solutions and all countries joins and give the solution to the development of the environment. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate from India.
India would like to highlight ocean dumping, that too majorly crude oil spills in the ocean, which is the major issue due to that which leads to the extinct of the marine species. It is very serious note that we have to discuss on this topic and we have to get the alternative solutions which would be an effective ability. Thank you.
Delegates, would you like to give any precautions for these issues? As delegate from USA.
I consider the allegations made by the delegates. I would like to bring to their notice that the practice has been decreased significantly due to international regulations. There are still ongoing concerns and challenges. USA has has been actively involved in developing and implementing solutions to mitigate the impact of nuclear waste on the oceans. Here are some approaches of USA to stop nuclear ocean dumping. International agreements, nuclear waste management, monitoring and remediations from EPA and NOAA, advanced waste management technologies, public and environmental safety programs, international collaborations. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from USA. Now, the delegate from China.
Ladies and gentlemen, China is committed to addressing India's objection regarding nuclear dumping by adhering to international safety regulations, conducting thorough environmental impact assessment, and engaging in open diplomatic dialogues with India. We invest in advanced technologies for safe disposal and propose regional cooperation and nuclear safety. Transparency in our operations and stringent environmental safeguards are paramount. We are dedicated to addressing specific concerns with specific evidence and mitigation measures to ensure environmental protection and public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from China. Delegate from Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, President. We have a certain solutions to control the ocean dumping. We are using a pipeline transport to transfer oil from our country to other nations. It helps to control the leakage of oil in ocean and monitoring the surveillance, increase monitoring on coastal areas and seas to detect legal dumping and use technology like drones and satellites to keep an eye of ocean pollution. And support clean up efforts, organize and support a beach and ocean cleanup activities, encourage community participation in keeping in coastal lines. And these are the measures taken by our country in ocean dumping. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate from Russia.
As a leading producer of oil, you are aware that oil leakage is a major problem that destroys the marine ecosystem. To mitigate this issue, Russia uses pipeline transfer to transfer crude oil from Arctic to Russia, reducing the risk of oil leaks in the ocean. Additionally, to clean oil spills in the ocean, we utilize bacteria such as marinobacter and oil spillers. These bacteria consume petroleum compounds, helping to clean up oil spills in ocean and seashore. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegates, is there any other further discussions? Delegate from USA, you are recognized.
Honorable President, I would like to raise an crucial issue which is also an disastrous event to spoil our environment, that is breach of war and terrorism attacks and counter-strikes. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has led numerous severe problems of Ukraine, including humanitarian crisis, infrastructure damage, economic impact, energy supply disruptions, social and psychological effects, political instability, agricultural disruptions, environmental damage, educational disruptions, health crisis. These challenges require comprehensive international support and long-term efforts for recovery and rebuilding in Ukraine. Also, we are addressing some terrorism actions which are leading a border conflict and damage to lifestyle of some innocents as a collateral for the terrorist actions. We have a sympathy on Israel who got struck by the Hamas terrorists, but in reply, their answers to them cannot be defeated. So I wish Israel to solve their problem diplomatically and stop their counter strike on place at Gaza, which is causing more and more genocides. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from USA. Now, the delegate from Russia.
The country which caused a disaster in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, when speaking about war. The Russia acknowledges that ongoing conflict have caused significant environmental destruction, including soil and water contamination, habitat loss, and increased pollution. We are committed to assessing the damage, implementing cleanup and restoration projects, controlling pollution, collaborating with international experts, and addressing public health risks to restore the protect and environment for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. The delegate of Israel, you have floor now.
Respected President, ladies and gentlemen, as we convene here today, I am compelled to address the critical misconception that has clouded perceptions of the Israel's role in conflicts with our region. Contrary to misguided narratives, Israel is not the provocateur of these conflicts, but rather than a nation that finds itself the constantly under threat from the militant groups like Gaza and hostile actions from neighboring entities. Furthermore, it is essential to shed light on the profound environmental impacts that these conflicts have brought upon our nation and border region. First and foremost, let us consider the relentless barrage of attacks launched by groups like Gaza against the Israeli civilian populations. These indiscriminate acts of violence, including rocket fire and terrorist tactics, not only endanger innocent lives but also inflict severe damage on our environment. The sheer volume of rockets fired indiscriminately into Israel has resulted in significant ecological devastation, including the forest fires, pollution, and destruction of natural habitats. Furthermore, our neighbors have repeatedly engaged in hostile actions, including armed aggressions and support for terrorist organizations. Instead of embracing dialogue and diplomacy, they have chosen the path of violence and confrontation, perpetuating a cycle of conflict that exacts a heavy toll on both human lives and the environment. In stark contrast, Israel has consistently demonstrated its commitment to peace and environmental stewardship. We have invested innovative technologies and sustainable practices to minimize our ecological footprint and preserve our natural resources. Despite the relentless provocations and challenges we face, Israel remains steadfast in this dedication in promoting peace, security, and environmental sustainability in our region. Moreover, it is imperative to recognize the significant humanitarian efforts undertaken by Israel to mitigate the impact of conflicts on affected populations, including providing emergency aid, medical assistance, and humanitarian relief to those who need it. In conclusion, the evidence is clear. Israel is not the aggressor in conflicts within our region. We are the nation that values peace, coexistence, and environmental responsibility. It is crucial that international community acknowledges the realities of the situation and stands in the solidarity with Israel against the forces of terrorism and aggression. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate from Israel. So, delegates is any nation willing for a collaborative platform in this session. As delegate from Ethiopia.
Honorable President and ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia stand before esteemed assembly to address a critical global issue of global warming. We recognize these challenges and we urgent need for purify this action from the international community. We understand that is not a mainly environmental issue but is a complex crisis with far-reaching indication for sustainable development, social justice and human security. We have been proactively participating in the United Nations framework for Convention on Climate Change and Lifestyle for Environmental Conference. Before we take into the crisis, let me justify the Ethiopia's current situation regarding environmental changes. Firstly, there is a recurrent droughts and floods on Ethiopia have resulted in a loss of property as well as in the indisplacement. Droughts frequently to predict to increasing day by day, placing stress and already vulnerable food production system, which is affected by the climate change. Extensive cultivation, overgrazing, deforestation, etc., which we can say it is a poor phenomenon. Thus, all add to the national challenges of responding to climate change. There is some frequent reasons for this climate change in our country. It is a climate change to the Ethiopia mainly due to the changes in the climate and Ethiopia has affected current droughts and floods. Different parts. This has been more observable particularly since 1970s.
The population size of Ethiopia and the impact of the activities of the growing population have increased dramatically over the day by day. Later, we can ascertain in the mainly five critical issues which is happening in Ethiopia regarding climate change. Firstly, there is a lack of organized factors which is don't have no more reasonable planning. Secondly, there is an inadequate level of international collaboration and poor collaboration and communication among different lines. Thirdly, there is a no reliable policy and problems coming organization, agencies and offices that target climate change and the health. Fourthly, there is the existing policies consider the gender and community relating dimensional of climate change. Fifthly, there is a monitoring, evaluation and extensively climate change and healthy activities are not as strong enough. It is to address a climate change and health issues in our country. There is some key solution which our country is adopting. We are all aware that there is an immense cost of inaction on climate disaster risk. We have fast lasting and nature capacity to regulate fundamental water, climate and other life support of environment on earth. To ensure and sustainable part of climate resilient recovery and development. The annual cost of the land degradation in Ethiopia estimated to be 2 to 3% agriculture GDP. In 2019, the country launched the Green Legacy for Greenery and Clean Ethiopia, an ambitious undertaking to begin address. In conclusion, it is a pressing global issue with a profound impacts on various fronts. It is causing increasing number of human deaths and sufferings, as well as economic, social and environmental consequences worldwide. Dear ladies and gentlemen, be a part of solution, not be a part of pollution. So, I propose an open platform of collaboration with forwarding countries to join us to resolve our environmental issues for better sustainable practices. Thank you, President.
Thank you, delegate from Ethiopia. Now, the delegate of South Africa.
Thank you, Honorable President. My dear brothers and sisters, it's an honor to address you today on a topic that is critically important, the collaboration platform for our future environmental sustainability. South Africa, a land rich in biodiversity and natural resources, faces significant environmental challenge that threatens the well-being of our people and sustainability of our economy. South Africa is home to approximately 10% of world's plant species and 7% of world's mammals, birds and reptile species. However, this biodiversity is under several threats. According to the South African National Biodiversity Institution, over 2,500 plant species and 300 animal species are currently listed as threatened. The main drivers of biodiversity loss includes habitat destructions, pollutions, insolvency species, and climate changes. Climate change poses one of the most significant threats to our environment. South Africa is already experiencing the impact of changes in climate with increasing temperature, alternating rainfall patterns, and more frequent extreme weather events. The 2015-17 drought in Western Cape is a stark reminder of our vulnerability. It leads to several water shortages affecting millions of people and costing the agricultural sectors. Our reliance on coal for energy production affects this climate change. South Africa is 14th largest emitter of greenhouse gases globally. It is a regret to tell in the UN Council, but it is the reality, with a coal accounting for about 77% of our primary energy needs. This not only contributes to the global warming, but also leads to the air pollution, which causes respiratory diseases and other health problems. Despite these challenges, there is a hope. South Africa has a potential to transition to more sustainable and balanced economy. Here are some solutions we can implement so that any nations who wish to collaborate with us, we can implement it fastly. First one, renewable energy transition. South Africa has abundant renewable energy source particularly solar and wind. By investing in these technologies, we can reduce our reliance on coal, lower greenhouse gases emission, and create green jobs. The Integrated Resource Planning (IRP) aims to increase the share of renewables in our energy mix to 26% by 2030. Accelerating this transition is crucial for sustainable future. Next, water management. Effective water management is vital in a water-scarce country like ours. Implementing water-saving technologies, improving irrigation practices, and investing in infrastructures to reduce leaks and can help ensure a reliable water supply. Moreover, storing wetlands and river systems can enhance water quality and reliance against droughts. Next, conservation and restoration. Protecting and restoring our natural habitats and wildlife force is essential for biodiversity conservation. Expanding protected areas, promoting sustainable land use practices, and combating invasive species are crucial steps. Community-based conservation initiative can empower local communities and create economic opportunities through ecotourism. Curricular economy. Translatory to curricular economy, where waste is minimized and resources are reused, can significantly reduce environmental impact. Encouraging recycling, reducing plastic use, and promoting sustainable production and consuming patterns like help us achieve this goal. Education and awareness. Rising awareness about environmental issues and promoting sustainable practices is essential. Integrating the environmental education into school curriculums, running public awareness campaigns, and supporting grassroots initiatives can foster a culture of sustainability. Policy and governance. Strong environmental policies and effective governance are crucial for addressing environmental challenges. In conclusion, South Africa faces significant environmental challenge, but we also have immense potential for positive change. Our traditional practices and our open platform to any countries we can collaborate and share their technology by transition to renewable energy, managing our water resource effectively, conserving our biodiversity, adopting a curricular economy, raising awareness and strengthening governance. We can build a sustainable and resilient future for all South Africans. Let us work together to protect our environment and ensure a better future for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. It's good to see a collaborative proposal placed by Ethiopia and South Africa are very in a concernable manner. So, if any nation is willing to join hands with them, can initiate. As delegate from Russia,
Current recurring issue in Russia reside nearly 23.5 million acres of forest area. To address this problem, we adopted satellite surveillance technology. This technology detects even small fires in the forest and alerts nearby the forest department. Helping us controlling forest fires, we are ready to share this technology with other nations to help them monitor forest and control fires.
thank you, Delegate. Delegate from USA.
We would like to provide funding support and technological support which can be discussed with the concerned nations later. Thank you.
Delegate from India.
India would like to give hands to the South Africa by collaborating our technology of geographical information systems and hyperloop transportation technology and bifacial solar panel which would be discussed detailed in further. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate from India. The UNO Council appreciate your initiativeness. Thank you, delegates. So now we are at the end of this session. As we draw to close this remarkable UNO meeting focused on the lifestyle for environment, it is evident that our collective effortlessly and unwavering commitment to sustainability are paramount in shaping a brighter future for our planet and all its inhabitants. Throughout our discussion, we have delved into the pressing challenges facing our environment. But more importantly, we have explored innovative solutions and collaborative strategies to address the challenges head on. From promoting and renewable energy resources to advocating for biodiversity conservation, water management, developing climatic resilience planning, and more. By integrating the best of both worlds' traditional wisdom and contemporary science, we can forge a path towards a more sustainable future. Let's remember that the choices we will make today, we will shape the world we live tomorrow. By embracing eco-friendly habits and encouraging others to do the same, we can create a ripple effect of positive changes that exceeds far behind this meeting. Thank you all for your dedication and passion towards a better and more sustainable environment and the future. So now, the dear fellows, delegates, I urge all the nation to sign the treaty as it presents a unique opportunity to strengthen our diplomatic relations globally. In order to sustainable development and protect our environment and planet for the further generation. The treaty is yours.
The final treaty is here. Treaty of the United Nations and Sustainable Lifestyles of the Environment. Preamble. We, the member states of the United Nations, recognizing the critical importance of protecting the environment for present and future generations. Acknowledging the urgent need to address deforestation, pollution, global warming, water scarcity, ocean dumping, and oil leakage. Affirming our commitment to sustainable development and environmental conservation. Hereby agree to the following measures to promote sustainable lifestyles and protect our planet. Article 1. Prevention of deforestation and conservation of wildlife and natural resources. Article 2. Measures for controlling pollution, global warming and carbon emissions. Article 3. Solution for water scarcity. Water conservation. Promote efficient water use and management practices in agriculture, industry and households. Investment in technologies for water recycling and desalination. Implement policies to protect and restore natural water bodies and aquifers. Access to clean water. Ensure universal access to safe and affordable drinking water. Support infrastructure development for water storage and distribution. Promote community-led water management initiatives. Drought mitigation. Develop and implement drought resistance agricultural practices. Enhance monitoring and forecasting systems to better prepare for and respond to drought conditions. Support international cooperation on transboundary water resource management. Article 4. Controlling measures for ocean dumping and oil leakage. Article 5. Implementation and monitoring. National implementation. Each member state shall develop and implement national action plan in line with the treaty's provisions. Member states shall allocate necessary resources for the efficient implementation of these plans. International cooperation. Establish a UN body responsible for monitoring and supporting the implementation of this treaty. Facilitate the exchange of knowledge, technology and best practices among member states. Monitoring and reporting. Member states shall submit annual report for this program in implementation the treaty's measures. The UN body shall provide periodic assessments and recommendations to enhance treaty implementation. And the last conclusion, by signing this treaty, we affirm our commitment to sustainable lifestyles and environmental protection. Together, we pledge to take a considered action to safeguard our planet for the well-being of all its inhabitants and for future generations. Thank you, delegates.
Now I request all the delegates to sign the treaty. I hope all the delegates have signed the treaty, and the further you have to follow the treaty, the policies what you have made in the treaty. So now, I thank all the delegates and the jury members who are as a part of this meeting. Thank you all.
I request all the audience to give a big round of applause to the delegates who have taken part in the event. Yes. So now I request all the audience to leave the auditorium.